Yes, what's happening, peeps? What's happening, folks? Welcome back. We are here live and direct, as I always say, me and my boy, my guy Laurent. It is just the two of us here on tonight's recording. Murdad couldn't join this one, so me and Laurent are holding it down for yet another episode. Maybe, I think maybe once the season gets closer. I mean, we are less than 2 weeks away now, but maybe as the season gets closer, we're gonna get back to some of the banter, some of the fire, some of the spice that you guys are used to seeing by now, for those who've been avid listeners of the pod over the last year and a bit, year and a half or so. Um, we will definitely be getting back to some of the spice as the season gets closer, especially because, as you guys may or may not know, Arsenal and Chelsea play each other very early on in the season. Um, so yeah, man, but it does there's something in the air at the moment that does feel like the season is creeping back around very, very soon. Maybe it's all the preseason games, maybe it's the fact that now all the players are returning fully from the World Cup exploits and their holidays. So we're here to cover it. We're here to get into it. Um, as we always say, people, make sure you like and subscribe and hype this video and tell a friend to tell a friend, because what we're here putting out content for you, the viewers. We're fans for the fans. So do what you got to do. Do your part. Like, subscribe, share, hype the video, and on all that good stuff, people. And we're here on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, like, subscribe, hype, share. My boy Laurent, you're good, bro? What's going on?
That it was Jean-Philippe. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. Back here with another episode, getting closer to the start of the season. So yeah, no, good things to come. And all in all, man, listen, I'm happy with well, I'd say our game before last for Chelsea. Our preseason. So yeah, man. Once it comes down to talking about that, yeah, man, full coverage, man, full coverage. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Really? You're happy? You guys, I mean, again, I haven't caught all your games fully, but you guys have lost quite a few games this preseason. So have we, to be fair, but I'm curious to know what you're happy about. But before we get into it, actually, you want to tell the people, you can't just drop these subliminals or these inside jokes in there and not give the viewers the context. Like what do you want to say about Jean-Philippe? What's the point of reference there? Why'd you bring that one up?
Oh yeah, so rumor has it, um, that I look like Jean-Philippe, which personally I do not agree with. Um,
That's crazy. Who the hell said that? That's insane.
I mean, you tell me, man. You tell me. You seem to entertain the thought. Um, yeah, but
Wow.
again, right? I feel like we all look like someone out there, right? From a certain angle and whatnot. So, yeah, man. Some say I look like Infantino on my off days, but
Wow. Not a
what?
great comparison.
What? You don't think so?
I mean, looks wise or personality wise, which one is worse?
Ah, uh, no, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, man. Listen, at the end of the day, man. Um, I think the important part, the important part is that I do not look like Chris Wood. I would hate to be compared to that guy. Um, to me, is a fake striker. I think he had one good season,
Wow.
and after that, right, no word of him. No word. Is he injured currently? Actually,
I'm not sure, but one thing I do know is that you're talking about him like this, but in this current iteration of Chelsea, there's an argument to say that he would start as your number nine right now. I'm just saying.
what,
I'm just saying, with the options that you guys currently have,
dude? Why would you start Chris Wood when you have João Pedro, bro?
yeah, I suppose.
What, bro? Come on, bro. You're starting to move like Ancelotti over here. Like clearly
I was
forgetting.
gonna say, well, one of them did play in the World Cup, one of them didn't.
And the crazy part is I don't even know I know I know for a fact my boy didn't play. And I watched that World Cup. I didn't watch all the games, but Chris Wood played in the World Cup
Yeah, he did. To be fair, he had a couple appearances
with
here and there.
Wait, for what team?
Chris Wood is Australian. I'm no, that's a lie.
Oh,
Hold on, Chris Wood, New Zealand, is it? Chris Wood, New Zealand, New Zealand. They have similar flags, to be fair. Dude, New Zealand did make this World Cup. Am I tripping, or am I New
look at that,
Zealand?
bro. You see, if you have to even like, scratch your head and did he play?
Come on, man. New Zealand made, yeah, man. They made some noise this World Cup. Through a solid 3-1 loss to Egypt.
And what did Chris Wood do?
Chris Wood, did he have any stats this World Cup? I think he got maybe a goal or assist, you know. Well, he got slapped 5-1 to Belgium, to be fair. 2-2 against Iran. So there you go.
And he scored?
And he did not score.
Ah, look at that. He might
No,
as
he
well
did
just
not
stayed his
score.
ass home, you know? Like if you're a top striker, right? And you play in the World Cup and you're gonna start on Chelsea FC and you're not gonna put the ball in the back of the net in a tournament? Come on, man.
I mean, again, he is playing for New Zealand, to be fair. And for those of a New Zealand persuasion watching and listening, you know, with all due respect, I say this. Um, but yeah, come on, like, what do you expect him to do playing for New Zealand? You know what I mean?
Hey man, there's players out there who played for teams that aren't that competitive, but they're top strikers and they find ways to, you know, do their job, right? Like think of Gareth Bale on Wales. They played in the World Cup, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be very surprised if Gareth Bale has not scored. Um,
No, he's done his thing on the
yeah,
international stage.
right. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you gotta do your thing, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
like I said, like listen, one thing is for sure, he made his appearances. I don't think Zhao made any appearances as of yet in a World Cup. So there's time on his side, but yeah, right now the momentum is with a certain Chris Wood. So
that's crazy, bro. Like the fact that you're even saying it with that smile on your face tells me everything I need to know, bro. You don't even buy into what you're selling. But yeah, all in all, man, I'm not even gonna entertain this. I've entertained discussions with other strikers. Um, we'll go there. We'll go there. You're your boy Yacarez. Um, and I think it's a good segue into your performance versus Dortmund, right? So your boy trying to get techie what was it, like a back heel? And who was that to? Who was that back heel to? Hmm?
yeah, yeah, it was rough. He did score in the game, so big up. But
Oh, and he also took a free kick that looked just as good as your boy Gabriel's PK in the Champions League final.
look at this guy taking shots. All the way in 10th place taking shots. I rate it. I respect it. Listen, we're not here to hide, man. We'll call it for what it is. Yeah, man, Gyökeres didn't yeah, have a good game, and he didn't have the best of preseason so far, to be
Mm,
fair. Um, I'm very indifferent with Gyökeres, man. A few weeks ago I said, yo, keep him, give him another season because, why not? He 21 goals in all comps last season. You can say what you want to say. And those who defend him, like Murdad and others, will point to just that. 21 goals in all comps last season. You want a striker to come in and score goals. He is definitely not easy on the eye to watch as a footballer. No one, I'm pretty sure everyone can agree. And maybe not Murdad to be fair, because Murdad thinks that guy can be techie if he wanted to, apparently. Um, but no, I don't look at Gyökeres and see a proper footballer. I just see a flat track bully, number nine type striker, very unorthodox.
mm,
And but listen, like a striker, right? And not number nine, your job is to score goals. And there's no denying the fact that again, 20 goals in all comps, in a team that plays Haram ball in your first season in the Prem, and you win the league. Not much you can really say to that, can you? To be fair, right? Again, and also in an Arsenal team that hasn't won the league for 20 odd years. There are other strikers better than Gyökeres who've come and gone, who haven't won the league for Arsenal Football Club, the likes of Van Persie, the likes of Aubameyang, some would say even Olivier Giroud, right? Better strikers maybe than Gyökeres have played in an Arsenal team that haven't won the league. But is it a coincidence that he comes in his first season and then we win the league? Again, we I think we can all those who watch football with our eyes will say he's not the reason, the sole reason we won the league. But again, he's come into a team that hasn't won the league for 20 years. Lo and behold, he's arrived. He's played his part by scoring certain goals, important goals, and we win the league. So either way, he's going to go down in history in some regards, right? Whether he goes on to have a good Arsenal career from here on out or not. But all in all, man, I know your thoughts on Gyökeres, and I am not sure where I stand on him either at this moment in time. I'm very much a fence sitter, as they say, right? I'm sitting on the fence at this moment in time when it comes to Gyökeres. I don't know. Some days I'm like, yeah, give him another chance, give him another season. But when you see displays like what I saw on the weekend and what been seeing in preseason so far, to be fair, from him, is not the most encouraging. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can watch another season of this. It's quite painful. Like you said, those certain moments where he tries to have a little bit of tech about him and tries to play, just play within your means sometimes, bro. Like, why are you trying to do these fancy flicks and back heels? You're trying to add something to your game this season. I appreciate it, but just make sure you keep perfecting those in training before you bring it out on match day in front of 60,000 fans. It's quite embarrassing. That was. I can't even lie to you. It was
Mm.
quite embarrassing.
Yeah, I think honestly, bro, I mean, listen, I feel like even when you look at that replay, to me it wasn't even the execution. It was just the fact that you don't know where your players are because there was no one there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah, and I don't even think there was any misunderstanding or miscommunication with whoever. Like, there's no one intended to make a run there, right? Like, so it's like, yeah, you got to be able to like read the game first before you want to, to pull that off. It's different if a player was actually making a run and it just kind of gets intercepted like that, right? But it's the
yeah.
fact that no one showed up. You know what
And you've seen players get those wrong before, right? Even creative players try a thing like that and get it wrong. But in this case, it just looked real bad because, like you said, it just seemed like it was even like a lack of awareness of what's around you, right? Like clearly there was nobody there that was even looking to kind of make that run. Like it wasn't anywhere close. You know what I mean? Like it didn't really look. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, but honestly, man, you think this season he gets similar numbers? You said what, 21 goals,
yeah.
all
I think it was
comps.
21 all comps last year.
Yeah, do you think he puts up similar numbers?
Yeah. I think I want to say yes because I expect a better attacking system this season than what we saw last season, right?
Mm,
As again, a lot of us can agree, it wasn't the prettiest to watch last season all around as an attacking outlet, right? Arsenal Football Club, we were not attractive to watch. And I think if we try and win off of some of the ways we were winning last season, right? A bit of the rugged, the hustle and bustle, the sort of scrappy, maybe set piece, um, grind out victories, those ones that are painful to watch. You find yourself, 1-0 in front and then sit on those type of 1-0 leads or, 2-0 leads or 2-1 leads, like those narrow, tight wins. I think teams can find us out a bit this season if we try and play like that again this year. Play a little bit, conservative, play with the handbrake. Like I'm expecting a better and more fluid attacking system this season, right? So for that sole reason, I'm going to say he can push on and get that sort of numbers again because yeah, you're just simply expecting Arsenal to look like a better attacking team this season. You know what I mean? Whether that's with the recruitment, and some of that's already been done in midfield for us, or whether that's just no additional recruitment, which I would be crashing out, to be honest with you, if we didn't make any additional attacking signings. But if it's not that, it's Arteta tweaking his internal system and doing something different with the existing players that he already has. One or the other, it's got to be different to last season, right? So we have to platform our attacking players and our strikers better this season.
mm,
So on that basis, I'm gonna be optimistic and say, yeah, he can return that same level because we're just gonna hopefully look like a better attacking team this year.
okay, okay. And this is as things stand with your because right now again, right, you're still missing what you guys would consider a true left winger. I mean, Solis had one assist that game, right? If I
Yeah.
recall, quality assist. Um, and I mean, yeah, like right, Gyökeres is the type of player that thrives on service. So I do think right that the manner and how that service comes um, is going to dictate what his goal contribution is going to be for the season overall.
Yeah, you know what it's gonna entail? It's gonna entail the likes of Odegaard, Saka's, Solis, and then Bruno Guimaraes, because again, that's another player I want to touch on that is going to bring a different attacking dynamic to this team.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's again is more direct, he's a player who can find, that he can thread the eye of a needle, as they say, with a pass. Um, he's very forward thinking. He drives forward, Bruno Guimaraes, right? So with these kind of players around Gyökeres in a more, like I said, attacking, affluent system, you're expecting a better return. Because again, whilst you know, listen, Gyökeres isn't. People say we don't play the Gyökeres' strength, but then a devil's advocate person would argue, well, why do we have to play the Gyökeres' strengths? Is he that good where you tailor your whole system to play to his strengths? Do you know what I mean? We can all agree that he's a pretty good goal scorer and he can find the back of the net. Um, but those who say, well, we don't play to his strengths, like Sporting Lisbon did, for example, or like Sweden does in the international stage, right? Again, if you're going to tailor your system to play to a specific player's strengths, that player's probably got to be the best player on your team. You know what I mean? Like the same kind of thing with Argentina, the way those players play around Messi, or even we don't like it, but Ronaldo for Portugal, clearly that team and that manager, whatever, they still somehow try and play for and around Ronaldo. You know what I mean? But Gyökeres, like the reason why that works at a Sporting Lisbon is because again, he probably is the best player on that team, so to speak, right? Whereas in this Arsenal team, you have Saka, you have Odegaard, you have Declan Rice, you have other quality players around you. So again, would the manager and the players say, well, again, respectfully, Gyökeres, you're not that good where we're going to tailor our whole system to play around you. If you can't fit our system, simply we need to go a different direction, right? That's what I would be thinking. Um, and so if something's got to give, right? Yes, I understand you got to adapt to a certain um, way to get the best out of the players that you currently have, but it can't be a complete 360 to what the manager knows and wants to get the best out of a player who isn't even the best player in our team. You know what I mean? Like he's not, the whole point that I'm trying to make is that he's not that good where like an Erling Haaland, for example. I think a lot changed once Haaland went into that City team. They had to change it quite a bit to be more direct to get the ball into Haaland, right? Whereas before it was definitely a lot more, I think, controlled possession, tiki-taka style before Haaland came in. But Haaland is clearly that good where you might want to sacrifice a few things to get the best out of that player because you know what he's going to do. So my hot take, to be honest with you, is that it's something that we're going to discuss a bit when we talk about the transfers. But my hot take is that, and I've been asking this to a few people so far. The question is Julian Alvarez, right? Would you bring Julian Alvarez in if it means sacrificing Gyökeres and sending Gyökeres the other way? And maybe it's not a hot take, I don't know, but my thought process is yes. If it means we get Alvarez, I would send Gyökeres the other way. Despite the fact that some days, like I said, I like the player, I don't, I see what he brings. I understand we need a certain player like him, just a flat track out and out bully striker. A fox in the box, as they say. I understand that. But honestly, I think I'm at the point where if it means bringing in Alvarez and we have to get rid of a Gyökeres, I would do it. That may not be the most popular amongst a lot of Arsenal fans, but I think I would do it.
Damn, bro. Sounds like you're just willing to dispense with the guy that contributed 21 goals to help you guys in your season, bro. This is, you talked about personalities comparing me to Infantino, but bro, this is Roman Abramovich written all over it.
Yeah, man. So you don't support it or what? Being from a Chelsea affiliation, you should know exactly all about this level of ruthlessness, right? That's what it takes.
Well, I think it's a tough one because again, like you said, we're 21 goals first season. I know he did have his hiccups initially. There was doubt, but you could say he did put up some good numbers for your first season in the Premier League, right? And I don't know. You don't think there is a certain how do you say it? A certain gratitude that should be shown, right? To player, if he comes in, helps you guys win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Surely you're playing devil's advocate because one, I know you don't rate the player, and two, just ask yourself what Roman Abramovich's response would be to that very question. So I'm
yeah, but
saying you know
I'm not.
exactly what it is.
I'm not asking Roman Abramovich though. That's the thing. I'm asking a Gunnar through and through. A guy who has supported a manager over the course of 6 years. I think five of those not having won anything substantial, right? And now finally you guys here you are. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I think personality wise, you guys are not like Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? So you guys do have a soft spot for guys that come into your club and help you guys achieve things. So why not have a soft spot for this guy in this situation here?
Because me personally,
Mm,
I'm trying to do things that shut guys like you up. I'm trying to get that star above the badge. I'm trying to get that Champions League.
mm,
And I saw on the other side of the pitch in that Champions League final what the level of attacking quality looks like in order to win
mm,
that competition. And that's where I am. Again, a lot of Arsenal fans, have a difference of opinion than me. And again, I always tell you this. I try and isolate myself from some of the other more optimistic and positive Arsenal fans. I just like to keep it 100. And I know a lot of people that I talk to who have, massive sentiment towards Martinelli, massive sentiment towards Gyökeres. And heck, I know some people that were concerned about Vinny Jr. coming in because they were upset that a player like him might upset the locker room or his wages would cause a problem to the rest of the group.
mm.
You know what I mean? Like because of the wages that he would command, other internal players would look at that and say, "Hey, I want Vinny's wages or whatever," and that might upset the dynamic of the group. And I'm not here for all that, man. Like again, I applaud, the Chelsea model under Roman Abramovich once upon a time, where it's all about win, 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 win. Like there's no room for sentiment. So again, this is not going to be for example, the Murdad beef dynamic back and forth that you and him have, because again, I know you try to loop everybody in the same category as Arsenal fans. I'm not one of those, man. I'm telling you, I fully am on board with the fact that now it's all about winning. I got that taste of winning last season, for the Premier League. It was a nice feeling. I was there at the parade, live and direct. And I have that itch to go again, bro. We've been starved of it for 20 years. Now I'm like, yo, I want more of the same. This is not no one and done. I want more of the same. In fact, I want to go one step further, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm at, and whatever it takes. And I think honestly, to be honest with you, I think the powers that be at Arsenal Football Club are actually starting to feel the same way. Like I mentioned it, one thing that was significant to me, at least to see when I was in London at the parade, was our owner, Josh Kroenke, or the owner's son, who is heavily involved with things at Arsenal Football Club at the moment, and seeing how he was lapping up everything at the parade. He was enjoying himself, even the trophy lift celebrations at the end of the season. Like he was there. He was enjoying it. He was with the players. He was with Mikel Arteta. He was with the staff, enjoying everything, like lapping it all up. Wearing an Arsenal like shirt, wearing a Gabriel and Saliba top. Like he was there. He was fully involved. He was like a fan. He was like one of us. And it took a long time to try and repair that relationship because for the longest time, us fans hated the ownership right back, especially when we were in our banter era. But now it feels like, united. It feels like one, the owners are invested. They feel what the fans are feeling, and I think the fans are starting to warm up to the ownership. So I think with that said, I think in every, the unity in the football club is important from top to bottom, right? And I think now that Josh Kroenke is involved and getting involved in transfers and seeing what was going on in the parade scenes last season with the fans and how much it meant to us around the world, I think now they're starting to have that sort of taste for success and for hunger as well. Maybe not on Roman Abramovich's level, but certainly, again with what we saw with the Vinny pursuit, clearly there's an ambition to throw money at this and make sure we go again and make sure we stay at this level. Because that's what it takes, man. That's definitely what it takes. So all that to say, I think we're gonna have to make some ruthless decisions between now and the end of the window. And for me, that includes again the sentimental people may not want to hear me say this, but for me that includes getting rid of Martinelli, I would do that for sure if it means we can bring in a quality replacement. And even if it means sacrificing Gyökeres to bring in Alvarez, I would do that as well. Those guys, you can say those guys are part of a team that won us the league, so there's a sentiment of it. They're always going to be, go down as cult heroes, maybe, or and not maybe not legends. Legends is a strong word, but cult heroes in the club for being part of a team and that won a league and contributing for the first time in 20 years. But it's one of those ones again. Roman himself would know this very well. It's thank you for your services. You shake hands on your bike. See you later. It's time to go. We gotta bring in the next level up to go again.
Mm, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I just wish Murdad was here so I can get his opinion on it, just to see what the consensus is like on your side of town. But
It would be interesting, yeah. It would be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, we can always backpedal on the next episode. Um, okay, but breaking down the this game
Yeah.
because this was a preseason trophy, right? The game was for a preseason trophy, if I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I think you guys were down 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Which and I mean, again, two games now. Mind you, right, we are factoring in that a lot of the players aren't there for you guys, right? In terms of your defensive structure and as well as offensive players. But this is 6 goals, right? In 2 games for Arsenal FC. It's not something you hear quite often. Um, and in this game as well, which I feel like there's a bit more incentives to want to win, you know? Um, explain to me like you because you got to see the game in full. Why wasn't the result different, or what were the rooms for improvement for you guys? And was Kepa in goal actually?
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
It's funny how you have the stats for when Arsenal lose games, huh?
Wait,
I
what's
I, I just find
or
that I find that funny.
I just gave the score line. Like, what do you mean stats?
Oh, Arsenal's conceded 6 goals in 2 games?
Yeah, like
That's
all you have to do is just go on Google and then look at the this game and the last one, and you do 3 plus 3. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
I'm not out here doing some wizardry to conjure up anything. No, like it's
mm.
self-evident, right? But if you want me to start getting like the stats, bro, I get the stats, bro.
No, no. I just, I'm waiting for those type of stats when Arsenal Football Club win games. I don't really hear you, breaking down any details of sorts, but get used to it, man. Get used to it. I understand that the ops, we don't lose too many games, so I understand why you guys would lock in and look and say, oh, two back-to-back games, 6 goals conceded. Kind of look at a little bit of detail, kind of find a cheeky back heel from Gyökeres that didn't quite work out. I get it, man. That you're preying on the downfall. Um, it is what it is. So get used to it now because it's preseason. We haven't lost too many games last
Mm,
season, and we may not lose too many games again this season. So enjoy it while you can. Enjoy it while you can. But look, I think you can answer this question yourself, I'm sure, all jokes aside, right? Why didn't the results go the way they did? Why did it look disjointed? Why are we conceding 3 goals in two back-to-back games? Like it's fairly obvious, I would say, and it's because again, and I say this to opposition fans who may get carried away with Arsenal losing at this time in preseason, and I'll say this to our own fans who are even crashing out or panicking even for us losing two back-to-back games, and for the simple fact that again, it's preseason, so everybody from the ops to our own fans, everybody I think just needs to calm down because it's preseason, and you just have to look at the lineup to understand what I mean when if I were to go into detail there, right? The lineups that you're seeing in these games, particularly in our midfield, you're just never going to see that starting lineup in a Premier League game, in a Champions League game, obviously unless there's significant injuries. But the way we've been lining up in midfield has been Miles Lewis-Skelly as a lone six, right, as the holding midfielder, and Kai Havertz and Ethan Nwaneri alongside him. Now, that was the midfield three for the first two out of our three preseason games. This last preseason game, the starting midfield was Miles Lewis-Skelly, Kai Havertz, and Odegaard. So you could look at that and say, okay, well, Odegaard's in there now. He's a first team player. He's a captain. He only played the first 30 minutes because this is his first game back after the World Cup exploits. And he came off after 30 minutes, obviously, because he's still finding his legs, right? Trying to get his fitness back. So all that to say, you're looking at a midfield is obviously a very important part of your team, as you know. And you know, that midfield is very, very light, right? Again, you have a Miles Lewis Skelly, a 19-year-old kid who he'll never play again a holding midfield position on his own in any meaningful game in the Premier League. We saw how well he played when he played next to the likes of Declan Rice, for example. That's what a young midfielder needs, right? You need to play alongside more experienced heads. You can't be the lone six in a in an open expansive midfield, right? Like it's just not going to work for somebody who's 19 and who's never played that position before. You're relying on him to screen your defense. It's not going to work. And again, you're not playing a double pivot really. You're not playing somebody who has more defensively minded next to him. You're playing a Kai Havertz next to him and Ethan Nwaneri. Like I said, these are forward-thinking midfielders. So yes, people are saying, "Oh, our back four doesn't look great because we've conceded 3 goals each in 3 games." Sorry, 3 goals each in two back-to-back games. But again, it's not just, we defend as a team, Arsenal, right? Arsenal Football Club, we defend as a team. We don't just defend with our back four. So our midfield setup is very important to how we defend, right? When you have Declan Rice in there and these guys, um, we again we just defend better collectively as a unit, right? And when Declan Rice and then these guys, Zubimendi even, these guys are not there to protect the back four or to cover spaces. We're going to look more open, and that's what we've looked like a lot of these preseason games so far. Like I said, because the personnel that we're putting out on the pitch is one that's more meant to attack than to sort of keep that defensive shape and structure. So we look very open at the moment in midfield. We look very light in strength and physicality. Um, and again, that's just down to the personnel, right? It's a World Cup summer, so that's kind of what you expect to see. Really, it wasn't going to be the most organized and tidiest of preseasons for us because we don't have our team to go in there and gel or maybe work on things. It's a disjointed team because you're using what's available to you. A lot of our fans I'm noticing as well. I've been seeing online some people crashing out about Kai Havertz playing in midfield. Well, Kai Havertz is only playing in midfield in preseason because who else do we have to play, right? It's just about getting minutes, I think, into Kai's legs at the moment because I don't think look how many midfielders we have once everybody's fit and available and returns. Kai's never going to play in midfield, I don't think, in the season because, again, right now we don't have Declan Rice at the World Cup, Zubimendi at the World Cup, just signed Bruno Guimaraes, Eze at the World Cup, Odegaard at the World Cup, Marino at the World Cup. Pretty much all of our midfielders at the moment are not available to us in preseason, so the manager has to work with what he has, and I understand that. I understand that you got to work with what you have. You got to put somebody out there. And Kai Havertz, yes, he's played in midfield before. He's not the solution going forward, but you put him in there because you kind of need bodies at the moment to fill that 11. And at this moment in time, it seems like it's about minutes in the legs for somebody like Kai. I fully expect, like I said, when the season starts, that the striking options are going to be Kai Havertz and Gyökeres. I don't think we'll see Kai Havertz in midfield. Again, I could be wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure, just because of how many midfielders we do have when everybody's there. So, yeah, all that to say, to be honest with you, of course, you have to take some things into account, and we don't want to see us look this exposed defensively or this exposed just generally as a team, conceding goals there. Arteta he won't be happy with that because we're not used to that. That's not what we are. But at the same time, the teams that you're seeing that's put out on the pitch at the moment, particularly in midfield, you're just not going to see that in a meaningful game. So I think that's where, we've got to kind of manage our expectations a little bit and just be careful with how we're judging it. Now, when all those guys come back, which they are now, and we go into the City game on the weekend, right, in the Community Shield, or the Como game even on Wednesday, and you're seeing similar patterns of kind of looking open defensively and just lacking shape, and easy to cut through, I think then you can be a little bit more concerned. But I expect the midfield to look different from here on out, to be honest with you. But I will say, I think you can say if you're looking at just the back four, there are areas of concern because the back four that we're seeing at the moment could be pretty similar to a back four that you're going to see to start the season. And that back four looks like, Ben White at right back because Timber's not fit at the moment. Mascara at center back, who again, young center back still, he's not of Saliba's level. Certainly not. Not many are, but Mascara is still a young defender in his own right. Gabriel, who a lot of people are saying he doesn't look as good without Saliba next to him. And then Calafiori, who made a mistake in this game on the weekend, he's a starting level left back that, will play in this team week in, week out. So he's making mistakes. It doesn't look good with him back there at the moment. So look, like that back four could very well start the start of the season. So the only thing I'll say with that is that they will look better, like I said, when they have a better, stronger midfield protecting them. But I think I would be going into the market to look for. I'm now convinced that I think we need to go into the market and look for another defender, particularly on the right side of our defense, because of the injury situation there at the moment. I would actually be looking to bring in another defender for that right side.
Mm.
Yeah,
So that's Timber's position.
Timber or Saliba's position.
Mm.
So the debate at the moment is, do we bring in an out and out right back, or
Mm.
do we bring in a right center back? And I think
Oh,
you heard Dad talk about this,
yeah.
yeah, last pod too.
Yeah.
Saliba's inevitably going to come back. So if once he comes back, whoever we sign, they basically just go back to the bench.
Mm.
So Murdad's point, I believe at that time was just getting out and out right back because whether it's now or going forward, we are going to need a new right back. Ben White may go at some point, right? We don't have an out and out right back properly at the club at the moment. Obviously there's Timber, but he got his injury concerns. So the thinking on that point, and I hear that point as well, is that we should probably just get an out and out right back because that is something that we do need in the club, full stop. Whereas if we get a center back in right now, it seems like a band-aid solution, a stopgap solution until Saliba returns.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So, but hey, I think I said this on the last pod too. I'm not sure which solution is best, whether it is that center back, that right center back to cover Saliba's position, or it's an out and out right back. I'm not sure. For me, I think maybe I'm starting to think that maybe that center back position, that right center back position, is just as important right now as getting an out and out right back because Saliba could be out for a few months. But the point that you've raised many times too is you can't just afford to wait for him to come back and just, you know, like, yeah, we'll just carry on. Like at that point, how many points are you willing to drop, right? In a league season, let's say, holding what you have and just saying, okay, yeah, when Saliba returns, it'll be all good. If we rely on what we currently have, which may not be good enough, we get complacent, right? And you could drop out of maybe a title race, right? If you drop too many points. I know you asked me this before when, the question was, okay, well, can you afford to just sit out Declan Rice and Saka and Saliba and give them extra time off because, they're fatigued from last season, they're fatigued from the World Cup. You got to be careful doing that because, if you give these guys that extra time off, or if you wait too long for a Saliba to return, and get complacent, you can find yourself, all of a sudden, like I said, out of a title race because, we all know how competitive the Premier League is, right? So if you drop too many points early doors, you're playing catch up, and it's hard. It's hard to recover that position, right? You always want to start strong, right? Would you not agree? You want to start strong rather than trying to play catch up later down the line.
I agree. Yep, I agree. Okay.
So So it's kind of like, yeah, that's why my thought process is now, you know what? It seems like Saliba's injury is a bit more long term, and the defense at the moment that we have on that right side certainly is looking kind of light. So I'm sort of thinking, yeah, we may need to dip into the transfer market, to be honest with you.
Mm. No, no, it's a fair point. Fair point. And okay, so you're saying for the next game, which is that's in 2 days.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, versus Como.
Mhm.
Uh, you're saying for that game, most of your players should be back.
Well, right now, as it stands, the beginning of the week, we're recording on Monday. All the World Cup players, or most of them, 90% of them, have returned to training in some capacity. Again, at the beginning of this week. So by Wednesday, you'd expect that a good amount of them, sorry, are going to get minutes.
Mm,
And someone I can almost guarantee that will get minutes is our new signing, Bruno Guimaraes. I think he will play on Wednesday, which is going to be exciting for us to see.
mm,
So right straight away, right, that helps a midfield dynamic. And let's say, right, obviously, let's say Declan Rice doesn't play on Wednesday, which I don't think he should. Let's say all of a sudden now you get Bruno Guimaraes back, and then you can move Lewis Skelly, right, out of that lone six position. You can put Bruno Guimaraes as the holding midfielder slash number six, screening the back four, and then put Lewis Skelly in that sort of box to box number eight position that he played in the Champions League final, that he played towards the end of the season. Automatically, that looks better because again, Miles Lewis Skelly is playing in his more natural box to box position, and you have him playing alongside an experienced figurehead like a Bruno Guimaraes, right? So that alone, like these little small tweaks, can change the dynamic of your team.
no, that's a yeah, that's a fair point. I'm curious, because I mean, with so you have Zubimendi,
Hmm.
which apparently we're apparently trying to acquire as well, is what I'm hearing. And then you also have Rice, right? And like you said, Bruno Guimaraes. If Zubimendi stays, right, for the season, I assume that MLS's role, the one that he used in the Champions League, he will not be used in again, right? So he'll just go back to being a left back.
Sorry, you're saying Zubimendi stays? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So yeah, because now you in those midfield position, right? You
Hmm.
have Rice,
Hmm.
Zubimendi, and then Bruno Guimaraes, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. So with those personnel there, is there any need to have Mal Lewis Kelly playing in the midfield position?
I would say yes. Because like for me and for a lot of people now we're seeing
Mm,
midfield is his best position. He's not a left back. He got caught out a bit defensively last season when he was playing at left back. He for whatever reason it didn't look the same. I know when he first broke into the team 2 seasons ago, he did all right left back. He did his thing.
right,
Went
right.
to the Bernabeu, right, playing in the Champions League, and the semifinals against the likes of Real Madrid as a left back, right? You don't just do that by fluke. I get it. But when he first broke into the team, yeah, it looked good. But last season, I think, he got found out a little bit more, got a little bit more exposed for pace, got caught on the ball a few times, and that's because he's naturally a midfielder. So I still think that his long-term career should be in midfield. And I think it's great for him to learn off the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, Rice, and Zubimendi, right? Experienced players. He's only 19 years old, like I said. So, Bruno Guimaraes is 28. So in a few years, right, once he's done and when whatever, I still expect Lewis Kelly to be groomed back into, the long-term midfielder for Arsenal Football Club. So
Mm,
I don't think that's a problem. You want squad depth, right? So think about it. If we start with a midfield three of, Odegaard, Bruno Guimaraes, and Declan Rice,
hmm
you need two for each position, right? So Odegaard's immediate backup, let's say, is Eze. Um, Bruno Guimaraes, let's say Bruno Guimaraes is playing as the box-to-box eight alongside Odegaard. Who's Bruno Guimaraes' backup? Let's say Lewis Skelly. And then you have Declan Rice as the number six to complete that midfield three. Well, who's Rice's backup? If Rice comes out the team, it's Zubimendi. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? So you still need two in every position, especially because again, for in Arsenal's case at the moment, you're fighting on all fronts, right? Look how many games there are in a season. If you're actually trying to win all competitions,
right.
we saw last season that you can't burn out Rice and Zubimendi into the ground. You need literally two players in each position. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. There's going to be plenty of games for these guys to play.
Mm. Okay. So, I mean, to me, it sounds like you guys got to ensure that Zubimendi as well does not leave.
Yeah. I think I would be pissed, to be honest with you, if he leaves. I think that would
Mm,
be a backwards move, in my opinion.
mm,
I personally think that would be a backwards move. You brought in a Bruno Guimaraes for squad depth,
right.
so these guys don't burn out, and then you're taking out a Zubimendi. And I know you just mentioned, I know we mentioned we have Lewis Skelly, Mikel Merino is another player we didn't even mention, who can play in midfield. So the options are there, but still, you want quality options and you want quality depth. Like I said, we're looking to go on all fronts, right? Injuries and things like that can't happen. Knock on what does they say? So, yeah, man, I expect Zubimendi to stay still because again, it's a one in, one out. Like that doesn't make any sense. Then what? You're gonna still burn out certain players and then run players into the ground. You need this depth and you need quality depth. So I would be annoyed if that happened.
Interesting. Um, yeah, no, I mean, again, right, I think this was brought to my attention either today or yesterday that we're aiming for Zubimendi. And I think it's only given the fact that you guys have signed Bruno that that's this is even in the conversation. But yeah, it's still early speculation. I mean, another Chelsea player you guys are linked to is Pedro Neto, which well, you don't sound too pleased.
I
You
didn't say anything.
you don't look too pleased, I should say. Um, you
Yeah,
don't
look,
you don't like him?
I mean, you don't even like him.
I will say this. I will say this. I would not want him to go into Arsenal. Because I do feel like he can be utilized. To me, if he goes to Arsenal, he produces better than Madueke, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's just another set of troubles that I personally don't want to worry about. So yeah, no,
Well, were you worried when Madueke was going to Arsenal?
no, no,
Mm.
no, because it's like you can just tell like, I think that player too, yeah, it's a decision making where for me, Pedro Neto. Yes, there is a decision-making element to it, but I don't think it's as or the problem is as deep as it is for Madueke, right? Where uh Madueke actually make like the piss poor decision, bro. Like you see what I'm saying? Like you guys ever seen um that game show How to Be a Millionaire or whatever that game show is, right? And you have the options where you can like call a friend, you can get like two of the options like taken off the board, right? Like A, B, C, D, right? You can remove B or C. So Madueke, right? He can like utilize all those, right? He calls a friend, he tells, they tell him the answer, he removes two options, and this guy will still find a way to fuck it up. That's what I'm talking about like critical decision making. Like Madueke just, for whatever reason, does not make the right decision when it actually matters. Like, you see what I'm saying? Um, Whereas with Pedro Neto, I think his is more, it's more minor things. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a certain subtlety that you can work with. Um, and overall, like even one from, I mean, the preseason games that I saw, right? Like his ball delivery is good. You see what I'm saying? Like he has the pace. He knows how to utilize his pace, right? It's just again, it's these small things that I think you can easily coach into a player, right? But you do not get those Madueke types of situation with a Pedro Neto. Um, yeah, yeah. So.
Listen, for the money that's being banded about again, it's ridiculous. Like I don't
Oh,
know
how
if you were
much?
seeing the quote, but like 70 mil. You guys are saying 70 mil. Like that is just a ridiculous price for that player, man.
Uh, I can understand why it's where it's at. Also, given the prices for recent players, I can kind of see it. You see what I'm saying? I think maybe the fairest value probably would have been 20 mil under that, like a 50 mil
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I can see why they're trying to stretch it out to 70 mil. But
And that's the problem, man. The market's just so inflated, man. It's players like that are, you're telling me 70 mil? No chance, man. No chance is he worth that much. And I just full stop don't even want him. 40 mil, you could say, yeah, take him for 40 mil. No, I still don't want him because I just still want better in that position, right?
mm.
Like
Wait, were you guys planning on using on the right or on the left?
it would probably be on the left, but I feel like his best is on the right. I mean, you tell me I could be wrong. You guys use him on the left a lot.
Yeah, we have used him on the left, and then we have used him on the right as well. I think naturally, it's weird. I would say he seems more comfortable on the right if he's
On the
playing on
right,
the
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Because he'll want to. I know he can use both feet, but he predominantly likes to cut in onto the left, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what it is, man. I think there's this theory that, and this part actually isn't a theory. So actually, if for those who don't know, Arsenal was close to going bankrupt around the end of our years at Highbury Stadium in the early 2000s. Under Arsene Wenger, we were apparently close to going bankrupt. The club was losing money, things were whatever going wrong off the pitch. And so the theory now is, so that part is a fact, but the theory is that Chelsea must have, under Roman Abramovich when he came in with all his millions and his money, Chelsea must have saved Arsenal from going bankrupt the way that we, you know, come after your players year after year after year. It's like, we owe you guys, we have to put money back into Chelsea Football Club, and we owe you guys one. You know what I mean? The way we invest in and fund whatever you guys are doing over there. Because why is it that every year, right? This is what Arsenal fans will crash out about. Every year, we just seem to be going for these Chelsea players. And with all due respect, I say some of these in some cases Chelsea scrubs. You know what I mean? And I put Madueke in that category. And it sounds harsh. People might flame me for saying that. Oh, Madueke is a Premier League winner. How could you say that? Blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not having it with him either. I'll tell you what it is. I'm not having it with Madueke either. He's a backup at best. and his end product is lacking heavily. We know that, but that's a conversation for another day. But it is, man. Like over the years, and some of these other guys have truly been scrubs, bro. Like your Peter Cech's guy who definitely came in as a Chelsea agent, past his best, playing for Arsenal, trying to get the inside scoop for going back to Chelsea afterwards and saying, yeah, this is how Arsenal Football Club operates. You know, these guys over the years, a name that you may not be familiar with, but this guy goes way back. William Gallas, center back. I don't know if you remember that guy.
That name definitely rings a bell.
French guy, French center back. Yeah, he's another one of those guys that made the move from Chelsea to Arsenal. Another one in more recent times, Willian, bro. These guys, David Luiz.
Mm,
David Luiz didn't do too bad for us, but man, like every year we just come after your players, and it's like, yo, the theory really is that around the time that Arsenal was looking like they were going to go bankrupt, Chelsea but just came in and must have saved Arsenal and did us favor, and now it's like we're indebted to you guys, bro. Fucking hell, year after year after year, 65 M's for Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we're just pumping money into Chelsea. Like, these are our rivals, bro. What are we doing here? Like, why are we going after your guys' players? And
mm.
it's like we're not even going after the good ones. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, give me a job, Pedro or something. But like, anyways. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. We just can't escape a transfer window without looking at one of your players. There's some inside job going on there. I don't know.
Hey man, listen, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but when you want to shop, you want to shop at Holton Refuse, or is that
Hold
what?
hold hold Renford, hold Renford, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hold
whatever,
Renford.
yeah, whatever that store name. Yeah, you want to shop at the best, bro.
You're definitely don't. Is that what you're trying to say? Don't you guys are definitely not no hold Renford right now. I'll tell you that.
Hey man, yeah, yeah, y'all seem to think. And if you guys are the home of the Premier League champions, right? And you guys have all this dough, all this these bragging rights, all this clout, all this aura, right? And you guys walk down Fifth Avenue and you see a Holton Rent for you, right? Like that's a shop, bro. This is Chelsea FC, bro. Like so at the end of the day, there's a reason, right? Whether you seem to think listen, I think I've heard I think I've seen this online, but someone jokingly said that apparently we have like one of your owner's nudes or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's why you guys keep like having to shop around here. But whatever we have against you guys that we're holding, right? And the answer is still the same, bro. Like we got the product. Right? We got we're not gonna give you the João Pedro. If that's what you're thinking, right? Maybe we'll get the lap a few goals and assists, and then ship him off to you guys in the next season or two. But yeah, listen, Madueke, Kepa, at the times, those guys,
Oh my gosh.
bro, you guys, who was it? I think it was Murdad that was excited for Kepa or that was backing him. I'm pretty sure. Like, correct me if I'm wrong,
Might
right?
have been, bro, but we have to have the guy here to defend himself, so I can't even
All
say
right.
for certain.
Okay, okay. Well, yeah, we'll double back on that. But I know Madueke. I'm pretty sure he was vouching for Madueke.
Yeah, I think he was too for that one. I'm
Yeah,
more confident in that one.
yeah, bro. So listen, bro. Like, at the end of the day,
He
right?
definitely likes Kai Havertz too. I'll tell you that. He loves Kai
Oh,
Havertz.
okay, okay, yeah, that's one guy that you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are reaping some decent reward.
Yeah.
I Yeah, bro. So it's
I
like,
found the funny side over the Kai Havertz one over recent years, the way he's trolled you guys after certain things.
mm, yeah, but so you see what I mean? Like, yo, um, yeah, I think at the end of the day, right? It comes down to how you guys see how these players can influence you guys, and I think you guys do get it right at times, right? Madueke, I think was always a dicey one. My opinion for any manager, any team, because like I said, I think it's more of a player thing, right? You can only tell a player so much, and then you get on the pitch, right, and you kind of just don't execute. So, yeah, but
You're saying he's one of those uncoachable players?
um, in my opinion, yeah, I kind of have to say that. You see what I'm saying? Like, especially like, okay, you've done a few seasons at X club, you've done one season at another club, and your playing level hasn't really matured. You see
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say?
that's
Like,
the best way to put it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you're still doing the same things that you shouldn't be doing. So yeah, definitely a player issue there for me.
It's mad to me though, because clearly there's something about him that these managers like. Because we're now talking Chelsea, right? Maresca was actually, advocating for him to stay at the time. He was pretty annoyed that Madueke wanted to leave. And then you have Arteta, obviously, who, regardless of what we all think about Arteta now, a pretty reputable manager in the game now a Premier League winning manager, a guy who's really wanted to bring in Madueke and push for that signing. And a lot of people would argue, myself included, he doesn't even really seem like an Arteta player, Madueke. Um, and then now, Thomas Tuchel for England. Like this guy played heavy minutes for England, bro. And Saka wasn't available. Madueke was pretty much next man up. He started a lot of games,
Mm,
right? I'm thinking, bro, what do these big time reputable managers see in this player? Like clearly, like something about him that these managers like. I'm
mm,
not seeing it, bro. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it
mm.
personally.
Yeah,
So
no. It's the pace, bro. I'm telling you right now, man, when you have a certain pace and you're a winger, bro, like you see what I'm saying? You kind of just need, all right, like you got a good touch here and there, right? And suddenly, like you're like hot shit. You see what I'm saying?
pace
And
can take you a long way, apparently, I guess. Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. And I feel like it's almost like I hate to be that guy, bro. You know what? Because we're keeping it PG-13, I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say. But like managers, they see that and they honestly think like, okay, I can coach this guy. Like, I can get him to change. But y'all know the saying, right? Can't change. All right. So,
I don't even know where you're going with that one,
oh,
but
wait, you don't or you do?
I have an idea. I have an idea, but we'll talk about it offline.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
But yeah, no. So I definitely think that with a player like him, its managers think that they can like shape him up. And honestly, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't perform 1 or 2 years. I think he'll get a move to even a decent club, in my opinion, right? I can see him going from Arsenal to even uh like a Man U. You see what I'm saying?
really, man, you.
Like or like a club with a reputable name, in my opinion,
Hmm.
right? That okay, we need a quick winger, right? We need a guy who can, right? And yeah, despite the fact that when you kind of look at his track record, he hasn't proven consistently that he's able to deliver, right? Yeah.
Hmm. Well, anyways, sticking on the transition and theme between Arsenal and Chelsea. So, you guys have had a few preseason games as well. How are things looking on your side? I see you guys are getting into some scraps, some fights, some ill discipline, which is typical of the Chelsea way, over the last recent years. Um, but
Ah,
yeah, man, aside from the WWE side of things that you guys love over there at Chelsea Football Club, what's going on the football side of things?
bro, I know the fight you're talking about is you're talking about on the pitch, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you're talking about the last team we played, the Malaysian team. That was
Was
our
it?
last.
Or okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Johor, Johor, some.
yeah, and I think it was Tosin beefing with the guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
funny because they actually, before you brought that up, I think I was thinking back to the Juve game when Mans were beefing with what's his name, Bremer, center
Oh,
back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
I was thinking about that one, but I guess this one was more recent.
yeah, bro. No, this was the last game we had is it or I think it was Sunday. Could have been, yeah, I
Mhm.
think it was Sunday. But
Like, yo, someone want to tell your guys it's this is preseason and not the Champions League
bro,
final? Like,
but
holy.
that's the thing though. You got to realize that we were not the ones instigating any of this. That's the crazy part. Is when you watch that, and I'll actually send you the clip, right? It's a 9 minute compilation, and you'll see that that Malaysian team, they came with a hidden agenda. Um, there was one player specifically as well, right? They were looking to to play this game very, very chippy. And all we did was react, right? If I'm being honest. And bro, you'll see it, bro. Once you watch the clips, you'll understand, bro. And that game was chippy to the point that how you guys had a penalty shootout.
Hmm.
So supposedly, apparently, we were supposed to have one too, and it didn't. It ended up happening. Um, yeah, because it was just like um, a very bad game, right? In terms of chippiness, that
Hmm.
right. It seems like the other team wasn't really willing to entertain it, right? And all around, I think it left a pretty sour taste in everyone's mouths. Me, for one, I would have preferred to win. But I do understand, right? Like I mentioned to you off air, that we played 24 hours um, prior to that game.
Hmm.
So even the lineups in this game, right? It was more so you could say um, the weaker team for us. Um, Jackson is looking good, is one thing I would say.
You love that guy, yeah.
Listen, anyone that's watched the last two games will say that Jackson does everything right except for finish. Which the irony is, well, you're a fucking striker. Like that's your job. You know what I mean? But nah, bro. Like he even had one pass to the lab, bro, outside of the foot, fam. That thing was pinpoint. Like the way, like I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That to me is a player that he is underrated in terms of what he can do. And if that guy had if he could finish, he'd be he'd be one of the top players in my opinion. Obviously not to the likes of right, the world class. Um, but he'd definitely be up there with some of the players right underneath there because he has the speed. His decision making seems to have improved, and I also think it's also credit to him having played at Bayern, right?
Hmm.
Because you do also get to learn from quality players as well, right? Playing alongside them and whatnot. And even in terms of his role, right? It's almost he's playing like a Harry Kane like, right? Where he's dropping deep, and then he's looking to create right in the build up. Um, but yeah, no, definitely for me a guy that we have to keep. Delap, I mean, he had two penalties that he converted, but other than that, bro, Delap and Brock Lesnar, those are two of the same people. Um, yeah, that guy belongs in WWE, man. If I'm being honest, it's sad because you wanna see the best in a player, but every time you watch him play, bro, there's not much that that guy does that really has you thinking, okay, like you see what I'm saying? Like he's a player that you want to have on your team. Um, Esteval looked a bit concerning. And okay, so here's the thing. If you guys remember the last podcast, I told you guys we played four at the back versus Milan, and this team we started with the three at the back, so it was like a 3-4-3 kind of formation. Now, where I'm seeing the issues is that I'm not convinced that Gittins is a type of wingback player.
Hmm.
There's Gittins. I know Esteval was used, and even Esteval, I think I can't see players like that, like running up and down, doing the defensive duties, right? Which is why
Yeah.
Giovanni Quanda um, played in that position, and then Esteval was more tucked in. Um, and yeah, and I feel like that's going to be an issue. And again, it brings me to the earlier point where now I wouldn't want to sell Pedro Neto at this point, given this. You see what I'm saying? Because Pedro Neto has shown under Maresca and under the different managers, Yeah, I think it was what Liam
Hmm.
yeah, was senior, and then the other guy too. That
He's a perfect wing back type.
yes, that he has that ability to
Work rate.
go
Yeah.
up and go back down, and it doesn't affect one his ability going forward. Because you notice that with some guys, yeah, they'll track back, but now they're just tired.
Yeah.
And offensively, like see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
the output offensively is just not the same. Um, so for me, at this point in time, that is one guy that I think we're gonna have to look to keep, given that, right? Like, because if we do get rid of him, and we do utilize that formation, our resources are gonna be spread thin. Um, because now what? Quanda, Rogers, I'm not even sure, bro. I'm not even sure if Rogers, like personally, do you think Rogers is that type of player to be able to go up and down and like a wingback
Play a
essentially?
wing back role.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's you're not going to get the best out of him that way. And I don't think that's where you would utilize him, to be fair. You don't spend all that money to utilize him as a wing back. I don't think that's what you guys are going to do anyways.
So he would be in I think in a attack mid type position,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
anything.
something like that. Do you think that you're going to stick with that sort of theme, like the three
The
four
three,
three?
I think so. I
You
mean
seem
the fact that
confident that that's what you how you guys are going to go forward.
it was the fact that again like you have I'm looking at it as like that's been his philosophy prior to also the type of players he's going for. You see what I'm saying? And then the fact that you've now looked to deploy it in the last, you see what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah, in these last two games. Um, and it's yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like watching that system, especially versus the Milan game, right? Mind you, you know who Milan's manager is currently, right?
Who is their manager right now, actually?
Amarin.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we actually we slapped them up 3-0.
Hmm.
And just watching him on the sideline, I was like, damn, bro, like this guy's really gonna go to, you know, a different league. And he you know his tactics, right? So just to get slapped up around again, yeah, you kind of feel bad for the guy, bro. But the one thing I will say is those wingbacks, when they press high, right? And if you're pressing high as well, you you actually like you can force the other team back, right? Because they
Hmm.
press up quite high. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like you have now have like you have a line of about 4 midfielders across, right? Three behind that, and then three others of your forward players, right? Actively pressing to try to get the ball. So if a team is not comfortable building up, right, or if they have the propensity to right to make those mistakes or just to want to dump the ball back, right?
Hmm.
It becomes kind of easier for you to get that ball back, right? So one I do like it in terms of a pressing system, right? Because and it keeps a certain structure, a symmetrical structure, right? Three, um, 4-3, right? And then depending, right, it could be even 3-2, 3-2, something like that. If you see what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, so I think it's definitely going to be something that I'd be surprised if he doesn't use. But again, right? Time will tell. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens from here on out. I always say that I think Chelsea are biggest one of the biggest unknown entities right now in terms of how you guys are gonna line up, what you guys are gonna look like. It's gonna be very curious to know what that looks like. I think even from your guys' perspective, right, like Chelsea fans internally, you guys, maybe you have a clue, but you're not even sure for certain what you think that what he's gonna do and how the manager's gonna line up.
Mm.
So. Yeah, like again, because you still have certain players that we haven't even seen before, and to come into this team and system, and like the likes of Morgan Rogers, right? Where does he play? How does that look in this system in this team? So a lot to be definitely from a Chelsea persuasion, definitely a lot to be excited about, and a lot to look forward to. And it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It really really is. How many games do you guys have left? Do you know for preseason?
It seems we have one more.
Hmm.
Now, I'm doubtful because every time I check, it's like that game disappears.
Mm,
But yeah, right now I'm seeing it for 15th versus Real Sociedad.
okay.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it stays like that. The fixture doesn't get canceled
Yeah,
because
yeah.
right after that, it's Fulham for our first game of the Premier League.
Is that home or away against Fulham?
That is an away game.
An away game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're definitely, I feel like we're gonna need one preseason game where we have the majority of the squad. Yeah, majority of the
Definitely.
squad there. Yeah, and those other dudes, right? Whether they're academy players, right? All right, send them back on their way. Let's start dealing with some real business, as we say. Yeah. I think you
Yeah.
guys have one more preseason, right?
Yeah, and it depends on how you look at the Community Shield. Some people say it's a friendly, a preseason game. Some people include that as like a, major, or a trophy that's up for grabs. I think certainly when because of the opposition, right? And Yoker has said it after our last game in his post-game interview. He says we're playing Man City, so it's not a friendly. We're going to be looking to win that game. It's one of those ones too. Again, I don't put too much merit into the Community Shield personally either. But I do understand that it's one of those things because of the opposition, right? You're playing Man City. So, Arsenal City, kind of that blockbuster game in the Premier League at the moment, two title contending teams. You're gonna want to get one over the other team psychologically. I think that has a big thing to it, right? The psychological boost that it gives what the team that wins it going into the season
Hmm.
sets the tone kind of thing. So I understand, yeah, we're gonna want to win it. How will we look in terms of personnel? It's gonna be another thing. Because how fit are a lot of these players that are returning and so on and so forth. And the same goes for City too. They'll have a lot of players just coming back. So yeah, but that game is I guess you can say that's one of two games we have left before the start of the official Premier League season.
Okay.
So and yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, we do play first on this coming Wednesday against Como. So yeah, still a lot to look forward to, a lot of preseason games and a look at a few of our teams and our players before the Premier League officially kicks off, which is not too far away now, man. Not too far away at all. So just quickly before we wrap up, any news, any transfer news that you guys are seeing on your end, or you think your business is near enough done, or what's it looking like?
Uh, yeah, I think we're still trying to go for one more midfielder is what I'm hearing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no. I think there might be something by the end of the week, but we'll see. I know you guys need a winger, unless you guys are counting on your boy Solis to bail you guys out. But yeah, that's one thing I'd definitely be keeping an eye on to see who you guys try to snatch because season is pretty much what next week, no?
Yeah, yeah, next week Friday. Next week Friday.
Yeah, don't you feel like, bro, like we're pretty much there, and then you guys still are without I mean, no winger, no striker as of yet. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah, and again, if you ask me, I'm the Arsenal fan that's not going to sugarcoat anything. Yeah, it's cause for concern. I'm not going to full on press the panic button,
Mm,
but I am getting concerned. I am getting concerned because the clear and obvious area in the team, I think that everyone would have said for Arsenal that they need to improve is their attack. And if we go into the next season with this same attack, like brother, like you're not serious about trying to win a Champions League, for example. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, you have to level up. And Arteta said it himself. And Arteta did say it at the back end of that Champions League final, the post-game press conference. He said we need to be ambitious and smart and pretty much ruthless, and it's gonna call for some ruthless decisions, essentially, right? And I thought that truly did mean, getting rid of certain players that have been a big part of the squad in recent years. Your Jesus's, your Martinelli's. Yes, we got rid of Trossard, so you can say that was one sentimental piece that we decided to get rid of. But that was in the hopes that you're going to bring in something of real quality. And Solis, he's an unknown entity. We'll see how he performs. So far, so good in preseason. But again, like I want, you know, the Bruno Guimaraes type signing in midfield, I want that up top. Like somebody that you know is going to come in and he's going to guarantee improve your team. Not hope that a Solis is going to do the job. With all due respect to him, he could come in and be good, but I can't like hope is not a strategy. I've said that many times. So listen, I want somebody who's 30. I need somebody to come in and I know exactly what I'm going to get from you. The problem is, right, to be fair to the club, problem is you've tried for Vinny Jr. and I know we've tried for a fact. That was not no PR stunt. They did try. It didn't work out. You can walk away with your head held high. Not many teams will win a battle against Real Madrid when it comes to keeping a player or obtaining a player services, right? So fair enough, you tried. Now the problem is who's left in the market, who's left that's even worth it. Because as you're saying, look at how inflated the market is. These mid-level attackers, midfielders, wingers, whoever are going for stupid amounts of money. And I just feel like we're gonna have to now pay stupid money for somebody that is not a Vinny Jr. and probably barely better than like Martinelli, for example. Because all these guys, Pedro Netos, some of these other guys out there, Nico Williams, and Jai at Everton is being talked about. Yildiz at Juve, like again, I look at it and like, are these guys a lot better than a Trossard, a Martinelli? You know what I mean? Like, are these guys 100 mil better than those guys? Like, I don't think so, man. The level is not that much higher out there. Um, Listen, one big name that's been out there from the beginning of the window, was a Barcola, right? Who is heavily linked with Liverpool at the moment. So you may say that the ship might have sailed for us on that one because Liverpool's already put a lot of groundwork into that deal, and that seems a lot more advanced. Um, a lot of people call him like he's a mixed bag. I feel like Barcola. You have people who are big fans of him, people who are also like, I'm not sure, and those who are on the fence about him, and those who aren't sure about him. There's a lot of talk that this guy is like the basically the French Madueke. Do you subscribe to that? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Do
Whoa,
you rate the player?
I don't know about that, bro.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know about that. No, I would disagree.
So you rate Barcola?
Yeah, in comparison to Madueke, yeah, I think the decision making is a bit better. Seems to me he just seems more dangerous, bro.
Mm.
Naturally, you know what I mean? Like, yo, when Madueke comes on the pitch, bro, is anyone really like, right?
No, but see, that's where you know what? But that's where I disagree as well. I think the one word that you can use with Madueke is dangerous. I think he's dangerous, but he just doesn't have anything to show for at the end of it, right? I think Madueke is definitely dangerous. Like one on one, right? If you're a fullback, Madueke at the very least is going to give you a tough time. Like he's going to make you turn around and face your own goal, and you're going to be chasing. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be that player. He doesn't stop. He's very direct, Madueke. Even to a certain extent, right? Nuno Mendes in that Champions League final, obviously the contentious penalty decision. That's kind of what Madueke will give you, right? He's going to make you, turn on and run on your heels a little bit, Madueke, right? He's going to make you, whether he gets the better of you every time or not, or continues to run the damn ball out of play, he's going to give you something to think about. Like you're going to work harder as a fullback, I find with Madueke. It's just that we always say it's his end product, right? So I personally think you may disagree, that's fine, but I do actually think that Madueke and dangerous, like I think that's something that can go hand in hand. He is a dangerous player, I would call him. Wins a few pens, runs at fullbacks, will at time to time get the better of them. It's just that, at the end of it, if even if he does beat you, if I'm a fullback and Madueke beats me, I'm like, okay, I'm calm because, at the end of it, it's probably going to be a ball that goes into row Z of the stands or going to go straight out of bounds type shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's where the people who compare, and not saying I agree with you either, right? I also agree. I think that's unfair on Barcola. I think he's a better player than Madueke, but those who are calling him the French Madueke, I think I see where it comes from because it's probably similar in the sense that dangerous player, one on one, very tricky, very hard to guard one on one. But at the end of it, sometimes the end product isn't always there. You may, you don't know what you're going to get from Barcola. And I've seen it firsthand. We've played PSG a few times over the course of the last two seasons. In this season's Champions League final, you saw it a couple times. Met Barcola in on goal. You think he's going to stick the ball in the back of the net, and he just puts it wide when he's kind of one on one or he's through on goal. Like he has that in his locker, Barcola, where he has such a good chance to finish, and he'll miss the net or he'll put it just wide when it's a very good chance. And but in the World Cup, for example, he did score a good goal or two as well, right? So it's a mixed
Hmm.
bag with Barcola, I think. Um,
And
so
how
I do
how
get it.
many did your boy Madueke score in the World Cup?
Did he score? I don't even
Uh,
know if he scored. I think
No,
he won a pen,
I know,
but
I know he played so bad. He got like, you know, pretty much, how you gonna blackballed by Tuchel, right? At some point, Tuchel just stopped starting him, no?
yeah, towards the lat it took him a while. He started a lot of games, but probably towards the latter final couple games, he finally took him out of the team. Yeah, but yeah, maybe there is a big gap in between the two players, between Madueke and Barcola. But I think the one similar thing, if you look at those two players, is just the lack of consistent end product. I
Mm,
think that's fair to say.
mm. I feel like only the stats would be able to give us an accurate picture on that, right? Like
Yeah,
what their conversion rates are and whatnot.
yeah.
But yeah, for me, I don't know, just eye test wise, it seems like Barcola is just a more clinical finisher than Madueke, just purely off eye test.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But is that to say then, is Barcola the right? The solution is Barcola going to come in and be a match winner for a team and be, have that stardust, have that match winning quality, give you that 15, 20 goals a season? Is he so, you know what I mean? Because he's better than Madueke in terms of end product. I mean, the bar is very low because if you're comparing anyone to most people, most wingers to Madueke, right? It's not like Madueke is this high profile end
Mm.
product winger. So that bar is pretty low. So because he may be better in end product than Madueke, does that mean his end product in itself is good enough?
I mean, Liverpool seems to think so.
Yeah,
Um, and honestly, bro, I feel like he's gonna thrive at that club.
if he goes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, isn't
Still,
that pretty much that's not a done deal yet or near done?
no, I think they've agreed on personal terms, but there's a gap in the valuation for what Liverpool's willing to pay and what PSG is taxing on the player.
Mm.
So I think it could get done though, probably before the end of the window. Let's see if there's any surprises, but.
Mm.
And there's a lot generally that can be done between now and the end of the window. So we're just gonna have to be patient and see. The season does start next week, but again, the window ends at the end of the month. So about three weeks or so before the transfer window closes. So there will be surprise moves I think to be made for Chelsea, for Arsenal, even. Sometimes these things happen in domino effects, right? One thing happens that leads to another in terms of one move in one club will then lead to somebody being available, maybe. Um, and these kind of things, right? Injuries come into play as well. So let's see, man. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I think we leave it there unless you have anything else you wanna to add.
No, man. See you guys in September. Yeah, that is right when we play.
Oh well, when Arsenal and Chelsea play, yeah, I think it is September. Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully you guys have all the players you need because I don't want to hear no excuses, man. I don't want to hear no excuses, you know. But yeah, no, I think this is a good episode. On the next one, we'll cover your Wednesday game,
hmm
um, which I'm hoping to see major improvements, if I'm being honest, and I'm sure you guys are too. Um, and yeah, yeah, and then this weekend, City. That one should be very, very interesting. So yeah,
yeah,
you're
man.
here. Hmm.
Things are starting to heat up. Things are starting to heat up for sure. So yeah, we'll keep it moving, man. We'll keep it moving. We'll cover it all. Um, and in typical Laurent fashion, ladies and gentlemen. The man is talking about how he doesn't want to hear any excuses in that first meeting between Arsenal and Chelsea in a few weeks' time, actually, next month, which is just around the corner, which is, very typical Laurent, man. A guy that talks with so much confidence, you would think that, his team were Premier League champions, or you would think that his team was a team that beat down on the other for the last 5 years. Because when is it? When was the last time you guys have beaten us? Like literally, it's been probably 5 years, which is crazy, right? To think of in modern times. So that's the energy you're coming with, as if you guys haven't just finished 10th and you guys haven't gotten one over us in like 5 years or so. But I appreciate it. I respect it. I rate it. And yeah, hopefully you're ready, man. We'll see you then. We will see you then. But yeah, folks, thanks for locking in. Thanks for keeping it real with us and being here and taking in all the organic, raw emotion and the nature of what we do here. It's nothing is scripted, nothing is we don't sugarcoat anything on here. Sometimes Laurent goes a bit over the top too with there's zero filter at times with this guy, but that's what we love about him, and then we love about what we do. So yeah, big up Laurent, big up Murdad. Hopefully he's on the next one, and big up to y'all for locking in. So like, subscribe, hype, and we'll see you on the next one. And yeah, make sure you're locked in, man, because you're always here listening to the home of the Premier League champions. So on that note, adios.
Peace.